Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will discuss about non-essential singular points of a complex function. So first, we will discuss about some basics of Lorentz series expansion of a complex function about a singular point. So we are considering a ring-shaped region consisting of two concentric circles C1 and C2, and both circles are centered at z equal to a and having radius r1 and r2 respectively. So there is a complex function f of z which is analytic at all points inside the ring-shaped region as shown in the figure. So now if the complex function f of z has a singular point at z equal to a, then the general form of the Lorentz series expansion of the function about the point z equal to a in the ring-shaped region capital R will be this. As you can see, the Lorentz series expansion of the function about z equal to a contains positive integer powers in z of z minus a as well as negative integer powers of z minus a. And since the complex function f of z is analytic at all points inside the ring-shaped region, that means this Lorentz series expansion will converge for all points inside the ring-shaped region as shown in the figure. In the Lorentz series expansion, the second part, which contains negative integer powers of z minus a, is known as the principal part of the Lorentz series expansion, and this principal part decides the nature of singularity of z minus a for the given complex function f of z. Now suppose for a given complex function, the Lorentz series expansion about z equal to a looks like this. As you can see, the principal part of the Lorentz series expansion contains finite number of negative power terms of z minus a, and the highest negative power of z minus a term is m. Therefore, from this result we can say that z equal to a is a non-essential singular point or pole of order m for the given function. Now, two important points about non-essential singular point of a complex function. First one, how do we calculate the residue of the function at the singular point z equal to a? The answer is the coefficient of 1 upon z minus a in the Lorentz series expansion, that is b1, will represent the residue of the function f of z at the singular point z equal to a. Now the second important point, if z equal to a is a non-essential singular point or pole of order m of the given complex function f of z, then the function f of z will not be defined at z equal to a, but the limiting value of z minus a to the power m into f of z as z tends to a will be a non-zero finite quantity. Now, the important thing for examination purpose is this: what are the different methods to identify the non-essential singular point of a given complex function? The first method is, if the principal part of the Lorentz series expansion contains finite number of negative power terms of z minus a, then z equal to a will be a non-essential singular point or pole of the function, and the highest negative power of z minus a term, that is m, will be the order of the pole. The second method goes like this: if for a particular value of m, the limiting value of z minus a to the power m into f of z as z tends to a is a non-zero finite quantity, then z equal to a will be a non-essential singular point or pole of order m of the function. Now the obvious question that comes in our mind is that there are infinite number of functions for which we may have to identify non-essential singular point. So, which method should we use for a given complex function? When you solve some problems on this topic, you will automatically understand that we should use method 1 when the complex function contains sine, cosine or exponential functions in the numerator. Some examples are given for the clarity purpose, and we should use the second method when the complex function contains only algebraic function in the numerator as well as in the denominator. One example for such kind of function is given for clarity purpose. So next we will take some examples in which we will discuss how to identify a non-essential singular point for a given complex function. So now the first example which we will take is this: f of z equal to sin z by z minus 2 pi whole to the power 4. As we can see, at the point z equal to 2 pi, the function f of z has an indeterminate form 0 by 0. That means the function is not defined at z equal to 2 pi. So we can say that z equal to 2 pi is a singular point of the function. Since the given complex function contains sine term in the numerator, we should use method 1 to identify the non-essential singular point for the given complex function. According to method 1, we have to calculate the Lorentz series expansion of the complex function about the point z equal to 2 pi. The Lorentz series expansion of f of z about the point z equal to 2 pi will contain positive as well as negative integer powers of z minus 2 pi. Therefore, we have to write z in terms of z minus 2 pi in the given function. So for that purpose, we have written sin z as sine of z minus 2 pi plus 2 pi, and as we know, sine 2 plus theta is equal to sine theta, so the function will be equal to sine z minus 2 pi divided by z minus 2 pi whole to the power 4. So next we will use the standard expansion of sine theta, that is theta minus theta cube by 3 factorial plus theta to the power 5 by 5 factorial and so on, and have written sine z minus 2 pi as z minus 2 pi minus z minus 2 pi whole cube into 1 by 3 factorial plus z minus 2 pi whole cube into 1 by 5 factorial and so on. Multiplying this entire series with 1 by z minus 2 pi to the power 4, we will get the final form of the Lorentz series expansion of the given function about the point z equal to 2 pi. As we can see, the Lorentz series expansion contains finite number of negative integer powers of z minus 2 pi, and the highest negative power of z minus 2 pi is 3. That means z equal to 2 pi is a non-essential singular point or pole of order 3 of the function. Next, we'll take the second example. The function is f of z equal to z square upon z plus 2 into z minus 3 whole square. As we can see, at the point z equal to minus 2 and 3, the function is not defined. That means z equal to minus 2 and 3 are the singular points of the given complex function. Since the complex function contains only algebraic functions in the numerator and denominator, we should use method 2 to identify the non-essential singular points of the complex function. So first, for the singular point z equal to minus 2, if we calculate the limiting value of z plus 2 into f of z, as z is tending towards the minus 2, the z plus 2 factor will cancel with each other and the limiting value comes out to be 4 upon 25, which is a non-zero finite quantity. Therefore, we can say that z equal to minus 2 is a non-essential singular point or pole of order 1 for the function. Similarly, for the second singular point z equal to 3, if we calculate the limiting value z minus 3 whole square into f of z, as z is tending towards 3, the z minus 3 whole square factor will cancel with each other and the limiting value comes out to be 9 by 5, which is a non-zero finite quantity. So here z equal to 3 will be a non-essential singular point or pole of order 2 of the given complex function. So we have discussed two examples in which we have used two different methods to identify the non-essential singular points of the complex function. I will request all of you to solve some more questions on this topic such that you will obtain some more clarity regarding this. So finally, thank you very much everyone for watching the lecture.